talking about a pumpkin and melon farm since episode 1. Yeah, episode 1. I think it's time we finally get one going. Just a little something to start us out. And then we can get on to bigger and better things. But first, I came over here to check on Mr. Popcorn to see how he's doing. And it was late, so I asked Flora if she had a spare bedroom. And, well, this is what I ended up with. Can't lie, it's a little warm, but beggars can't be choosers. Let's go check on Popcorn before we get on with our day. Hello, Mr. Popcorn. Popcorn? There's Colonel. Popcorn. There he is. Hey, buddy. Excuse me. How are you? Doing good? You like it here? All right. He's got lots of friends, as we can see. Popcorn is living his best life. Let us live our best life. Start to find a source of emeralds. We made a lot of progress last episode. Wow. We got netherite armor, netherite tools. We beat the ender dragon. We got elytra. We got shulker boxes. We cleared a bastion. And we beat the wither. Got a beacon up there. Why is my door open? Somebody here? No. Interesting. Anyhow, in doing all of that, with all that battling, we went through a good amount of food, and with that, I went through all of my emeralds. So these guys, who so graciously give us golden carrots for 1 emerald, have kind of lost their purpose as we don't have any emeralds. So what do we do about that? Well, it is finally time for us to make a pumpkin and melon farm. I want to throw it together real quick because that is not the purpose of today's episode. No. In fact, today's episode will finally bring us a build on top of this hill. That is something I'm really looking forward to. It's something that has been long coming, and it allows us to sort of start expanding our footprint to up here. But I'm hoping that's not all. I also would love to get a sugarcane farm going to pair with our creeper farm over there, that earth built. And I believe between using those two, we can create a fireworks shop, which now that everybody has wings, I'm thinking everybody's going to be looking for fireworks. How about Earth Space, though? It looks so good. Actually, I think the banners are out of... Yeah, look at that. Look at that. And actually, we have a new neighbor. Raven is somewhere over here. I'm not totally sure where. Do a little flying. There she is. Look at this base. Got her and Earth's builds just complement each other so nicely. I love it. I love it. I don't know if you can see her from our base, though. Build that's going on top of the hill today will be very tall, so I'm sure you'll be able to see her from there. From the beach? Kinda. Peeking over the trees. All right, getting distracted by all of our wonderful neighbors. Let's build this pumpkin and melon farm. I think I found a pretty good design that will fit in one chunk. So I'm starting to clear out this chunk here. Probably go 4 or 5 blocks down. I think that's all we'll need. And then we'll just put a roof back on it. It'll be like nothing ever happened, and we'll have a functioning farm below. The only thing I'm missing that I will need are about 40 pistons and about 40 observers. So I'm going to keep clearing this out. We'll see if we have the materials that we need. If not, do a quick little trip, get those going. So, unbeknownst to me, I am pretty much completely out of redstone. And I need a lot for this build. Not like an insane amount, but I will need at least 3 stacks, I think, between all the powered rails, the actual redstone, torches, comparators. Yeah, to the mines. I haven't been here in a while. It's huge. Probably has something we need. There's some redstone right there. It's a start. Well, the diamonds here and there are not too bad. was a lot of diamonds. Excuse me. I have just about enough. There's 2 more right there in the midst of all of these creepers. Oh my goodness. Let's get these. Go, 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 go. And do, 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 do. Ow, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. Yep. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay, we got what we needed. Let's get out of here. All right, I think we've got everything that we need. We'll need more redstone in the future, that's for sure. But for now, we are good to go. So why don't I just do a quick time lapse? This should be a nice, easy build. Hopefully we can see it through the trees, maybe. And once we're done with this, we'll get on with the rest of the episode. Well, I definitely should have built that 1 block lower. That's okay. We'll clear out some of this anyhow. And we can terraform a bit to hide that. This will be our collection system here. Not sure what the point of this button is. Feels unnecessary, but as I mentioned, we'll terraform this area. And honestly, with all the tree cover right now, you can't even tell it's there unless you're walking right through it. But it feels good to get that off my list. Now it's time to move on to a much bigger build and something that's going to add much more life to our national park here. One of the things that many parks have, and not just national parks, are Firewatch towers. In areas where wildfires may be more common, you have these structures called Firewatch towers, which extend up above the highest peak to look over the horizon. And typically they have glass windows all the way around so that the person who's stationed there can look out among the environment and spot any fires before they become a bigger issue. So, top our highest peak, we are going to make our Firewatch tower. Fire spread is off on the server, but, you never know. Things could go wrong. Who knows? Even if there's one flame in the distance, we'll put it out. This is also the start of our upper level biome, which will include some spruce trees, custom and just typical Minecraft spruce trees. The custom ones will be more like towering pines, and that will lead into a whole nother spot up here for a later build. But with all that said, I think it's time we jump into our Firewatch tower, something I've been talking about for quite a few episodes. Let's get it done, see where it takes us. Ooh, it's a foggy morning, and we are kind of done with this piece of the build, the exterior. But let's take a look at the interior real quick as we climb this mountain of ladders. It is quite the trip up here. I could fly, but what's the fun in that? Whew, okay. first level. Now we got a little staircase. That was much easier. And we have our interior. So, and that also doesn't look quite right. I'll have to grab, what do I need? Either sand or smooth sandstone. We'll fix that up. Here now we can get an idea of how this Firewatch tower works. You can see Earth space, ravens out there, Goob. We can see Cass from over here. What else can we see? The shopping district. Flora is, I think, actually behind that mountain there. But all that to say, we can see just about everything. And we can see all the trees, that's for sure. We can also look out this way to see our ocean. We got some good views from up here. But the inside is a little lackluster. And I realize that we've also forgotten one of our blocks up there. Our support blocks. So we need to make it a little more homey in here. Actually, it's probably also really dark. So we need some lighting as well. With that said, I'm going to grab a few things and we can just kind of work on this interior together. Also happy to announce that our pumpkin melon farm is working out great. It's giving us all we can need. We already got over a stack of goods. I'm just running through this bread and then we'll be back on the golden carrot grind. Well, I paused my recording at some point. I'm not sure when. So I'm not sure if I showed any of this, but if I didn't, I was sort of talking about how I looked up some interiors of Firewatch towers. It's very interesting because a lot of them, people actually live there for the season. So it kind of has to have your basic necessities. So a bed, a small kitchenette, somewhere to work. Take a look at that map. I don't know how the bathroom situation works. That's pretty much my area, but I would like to get it one size bigger. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's fill it out a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean the whole way. Not a lot to look at right now. We kind of have the waterfall and we have the Firewatch tower and then the first campsite, my campsite. But we will update that as we kind of get more things built. For now, I can just go, nope, right there. Cool. Can I spin this? How should it be? Probably like that, because that's how we're looking out. Yeah, okay, cool. I think maybe I'll get rid of this and put a crafting table there. Or not that, sorry, a cartography table. That makes more sense for this space. And then I do have a compass as well. I think that would go well next to our telescope. There we go. We have a compass. We have our cartography table, our telescope, a kitchen, a little bit of storage, a working writing area, trash can. On the outside here, we have this instrument. I think it like measures, what I imagine it doing is measuring like wind speeds. Pretty sure that's what that would do in real life. And then of course we have a little blinker on top because we're very high up here. So if any planes are flying past, they don't do that. We're happy guests at that. I think we're kind of good on this right now. There's a couple other little things that I want to do. Like put a few trees around here. Maybe we'll add a couple boulders as well. See what this guy has to offer. Nothing. I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe we just, come on guys, ride the waterfall. Go down to the river. Have fun. All right. Down they go. Safely. Yeah, we just want to do a little bit of landscaping out here. Make it fit into the area a bit more. I was considering a sugarcane farm today, but I think I'd rather focus on the trees. If I do a sugarcane farm, I probably won't even show it. It's not going to be anything major. And then maybe next episode, we can work on a shop to get some rockets. Sell some rockets. Speaking of shops, let's take a quick detour and see if we've made any diamonds over at our shop. Let's see. Nope. Nobody's wanted any more moss. That's okay. For now, what a view that is. It's like our own personal beacon. I love it. So I mentioned a little bit in previous episodes that I want the upper level here to transition to sort of spruce trees and some custom tall pines. So I need some saplings. And I actually don't have a ton. 13, that won't quite do what I want it to do, but it'll get us somewhere. Probably have to make another little trip over to the snowy peaks in the distance. That will get us what we need to start making these custom trees. But for now, I think we just want to start transitioning this area to spruce little by little. Not going to go too crazy, just scattering them about. Just want to give the look that something different is going on up here, that the climate is changing as you get higher up. So the flora is changing with it. I do want a couple of the large ones to pair with our skinny ones. So maybe one right here. It just is so dwarfed by this tower. But it makes sense. These things are supposed to be above the trees. That's a really ugly one. Wow. That one is very ugly. I might just tear this down. You know what? I can already tell I'm not going to like that. That one is getting torn down. That's okay. We're going to need a lot of this wood anyhow. Maybe I'll try over here. Maybe right here. One more try. Let's see. How does this look? Okay, that's better. That's better because these are going to be transitioning into much taller, skinnier trees. So I think actually sort of at the midpoint is the right spot to have these thicker ones. Yeah, I think I want one more like here. Very important to me that we don't get an ugly one. Please don't be ugly. Please don't be ugly. Right. Please don't be ugly. Please don't be ugly. Right. Anybody? Anybody? Please don't be ugly. Try again. What is preventing this from growing? There we go. Okay, that might have worked. Let's fly back here and take a look. It's kind of ugly. It is kind of ugly, isn't it? It's not the worst. Let me try to build these other trees and let's just see what it ends up looking like. I don't want to write it off just yet. I don't love this right here, though. I don't love that view. They're too close to each other. Man, we're putting a lot of thought into these trees, but ain't that the way? All right, let's hop into another little time lapse. Do a little tree building. Maybe I'll put 5, 6 trees around here. Probably move some of these default ones around a little bit to get it fitting a little bit better. And hopefully we'll start to look a little bit more natural up here. That said, let's go. And we are done, at least for now. We've got a lot more trees to add eventually, but for now, as we pull up through the fog here, we have the start of our new biome with some of these thin lone pines and of course the Firewatch tower looking out over all of them. Ain't no fires happening around here. That is for sure. Gotta fix up some of this podzol. I want to get a lot of ferns. The forest that I'm trying to replicate has a lot of ferns on the ground. So I want to try to emulate that a bit. We added some boulders around to kind of make the landscape look a little bit more interesting. and fit into this rocky cliffside. All in all, I really like the way it came out. A couple of things that I don't love, that tree and that tree. I hate when they generate like this. So I actually might just take these down and try again. Because they really kill the vibe of the whole thing. But before I do all that, I did also make a sugarcane farm so that we may have a rocket shop in our future. I just fit it back here with our moss farm. It felt fitting. Nothing special. It's nothing too impressive. I just took everything out of it. But yeah, it'll get us started. I'm probably going to want one much bigger to get a supply going, but for now, it'll get us somewhere. We already have over 2 stacks. Been AFKing it for a little bit. So it's doing its job so far. Redstone components have really been our limiter lately, and I'm not too sure if anybody plans on selling redstone. If they do, we will be a customer, but for now, we're just going to have to go mining every time we need it. I do want to go restock my shop a little bit, replenish what we've lost, and yeah, we're going to have to AFK that creeper farm a little bit too. But there's some rockets to hold us over for now. I would like to sell a shulker box of rockets and then just rockets a la carte as well. But we'll get that all set up later. Okay, well, I didn't bring quite enough, but I'm going to chop down those trees and see if we can't get, one a little bit more full. I love how this looks from a distance, though. Eventually, I kind of mentioned this, but we're going to have a much more dense forest right back there. I think it's going to look really, really cool once it's all completed. But honestly, I'm loving this. I really, really like how this is looking. Again, besides these 2 ago trees. So let me tear these down, see if we can't get something better. And then we'll take a good final look at what we've got here. Dang it. Is it just completely random? Or is there a way to control it? That is what I want to know. There we go. Well, that's one. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this one more time. Yay! All right. Well, that worked out nicely. So now, when we look at it from afar, yeah, much better. Those just seem to fit in a little bit more. And let's head inside the tower to finish things up. Well, that was a fun one. I really enjoyed making this build. It took a little bit more than I anticipated. If you were on stream, you would know that I was timing how long it took to do each of these sides. And each side took about 20 minutes. So this is about almost an hour and a half just doing the stairs of this like lattice structure like that. But all in all, I thought it turned out really great. I mean, it captures exactly what it's supposed to. It looks exactly how it should. You look at that and you know it's a Firewatch tower. Having it on top of like our highest elevation out here is just so fitting. And I mean, the view that you get from these windows is just incredible. See a tree out there? Looks like one of our trees. That's kind of ugly. Might have to fix that. But it's just so fun to look out and around this area. We have our map that kind of captures this area of our park. And really, to give a little insight into what's coming, I have one more build that I want to do right here, sort of as like the entrance to our park. And then we're going to start venturing off into campsites, into our mega build, more things up here. Got a lot planned, but it's a long season, so I'm glad we have ideas and we have things that we want to do. With that all said, that's all I've got for today. Next week's episode, you get a little sneak peek if you stuck around to the end. Next week's episode is actually not going to be Common Ground. It is going to be a long play of us beating hardcore Minecraft for the first time. So I'm looking forward to making that. I think it's going to be really fun. and it'll be different. But don't worry, Common Ground will return the next week and stream on Tuesday. Will also be Common Ground, so don't fret. Common Ground is here to stay. But I just wanted to add a little something different in between, since this will be episode 7. We'll have 7 Common Ground videos in a row. So just going to switch it up a little bit for a week. If you did stick around this long, I really appreciate you doing so. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment, leave a like. That all helps so much in others discovering these videos. We've received so much positive feedback, and I'd love to share that with more people. And like I said, we'll see you next week with a bit of a different kind of video. But for now, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time.